Hi, I'm Val, and I'd like to welcome you to the Airlines Management course taught at Linkoping University. So here is my webpage, and here is the section devoted to the courses that I teach. And today we will be looking at the Airlines Management course. So I'm going to follow the link to the course webpage. This is how it looks, and I will quickly go over the content of the webpage and then go into a specific lecture on the administrative matters. So in principle, all the information about the class will be here on this webpage. I will also email the registered participants. Before the class started, well, the information in this website wasn't final. I guess this is no longer relevant now that the class has started. So I am the lecturer, and here is the schedule, which essentially says that there is no schedule. You go through the slides here down below at the webpage, and the videos with the recordings of the slides, and then you submit the homeworks by the due dates. There are two homeworks, and here are the due dates for them. And you contact me with questions whenever you have them. So that's basically how the class will go. In the end, we will have an exam. And here's a web page, which is a sub-page of the course homepage, which describes the rules by which the exam will be graded. So the exam will be a take-home exam. It will start as scheduled at the time specified in the official schedule for the exams. So at the time when the exam is scheduled to start, I will send you the link to the exam, and you will start solving it. So the exam will be the same format as the practice exam, which is already, the link to the practice exam is posted on the web page. We will go into it later. And you will have to solve the problems in the exam within 1 hour. And after 1 hour from the exam start, you will have to send me your solutions by email. And there are various ways in how you may write your solutions. You may print and write with pen or pencil and then scan, or fill it in electronically, or do it in any way you like. I will essentially accept the solution is in any form. So you will have to get 50 points out of 100 on the exam in order to pass the course. If you want to get a grade of 4 or 5, then first of all, you will have to let me know about that. So no later than 1 week before the exam, you will have to let me know that you will want to get 4 or 5. And then, well, after you have written the exam, I will contact you during the scheduled exam time, which is like 4 hours. And if you did get 50 points on your written part of the exam, then we will have an oral examination afterwards. And for the grade of 4, I will ask how you solved the different problems on the exam, and you'll have to explain to me how you did that. And if you fail to do that, you can get a 3 or even fail the exam. So just trying to get a 4 or 5 doesn't mean that you will necessarily get something better than 3, or even that you will pass the course. And then, yes, for the grade of 5, I will ask you a few other questions from, well, basically other parts of the course, all parts of the course. So I hope you will read these instructions and digest them. I don't mean that you understand them immediately right now, and get back to me with questions if you have them. Okay, so back to the web page for the course. Yes, so we looked at the exam grading. There is some more material which I also post on the web page. A couple of links to other courses on similar topics given elsewhere. So I am using a lot the material from the so-called MIT OCW. MIT is Massachusetts Institute of Technology. As I may have joked, and I apologize in advance for maybe telling the same jokes in different classes that you take with me. But anyway, so MIT is one of the best schools in the world, one of the best Institute of Technologies, second best. The first one is, of course, Linkoping Institute of Technology. So that's MIT, and OCW is their open courseware. And this is the place where they gather material from lots and lots of different courses, not necessarily related to airlines management. A wonderful resource by all means. And out of the courses at MIT OCW, we will be looking at two courses, airline management and airline schedule planning. And each of them is like a semester-long course with lots and lots of material, like 28 or something lectures. You don't have to go through all of them in any of these two wonderful courses, but I will include a lot of lecture material from MIT lectures, and I will even assign one homework directly from MIT course. But again, later about that. So this class has a textbook which we don't have to use. I will show the book in the slides. Our library at Linköping University has another book which has quite a lot of good material. It's called The Global Airline Industry. Again, you don't have to read all the book. Here I have the link to a web page where I prepared some bullets on what chapters in the books in this book are specifically related to what we study, the fleet assignment and some other things. So that's well, those were the extra material that you can find elsewhere. Now to the practice exam. Here is how it looks like. I will show you with pagination. So on the first page of the practice exam, you have these rules, which I also showed you before. The solutions must be submitted within 1 hour of the start time. You should do exam individually. The homeworks you will be doing in groups. I will also speak about that. You can use anything you want and write in English or Swedish. I will be reachable during the exam as usual, as during the usual exam. And yes, you will have to get half of the points to pass the course. And as I already mentioned, if you applied for a challenge of getting 4 or 5, then I will contact you within 4 hours of the start time of the exam. So this first page will be exactly the same on the actual exam, well, except that it will not have the word practice. So there should be no surprises for you there. Then the second page of the exam contains the mathematical program for the fleet assignment, something that we will study first in this course. So don't worry if it doesn't make sense to you now. It should by the time you have done homework 1, and certainly should make sense for you by the time of the actual exam. And in addition, there are some rules how you should solve the problems. Again, these rules and this program will be with you also in homework 1, so hopefully you will know all of them and they will not get you by surprise on the exam. And then there are problems, and most of the problems have these specific tables that you have to fill, and in addition to filling the tables, you have to provide the solutions. Again, I don't want to go into details on them right now, but by the end of the course, you will hopefully get enough exposure to such things so that you will know how to deal with them. Or if you don't, then you will ask questions, in particular during homeworks, homework 1 and 2. Okay, so that was the practice exam. I also compiled a list of some extra practice problems, well, basically on the topics that we will see in this course. Again, there is nothing specific that should be mentioned about these problems at this time. Okay, so that's more or less it with the general information on the web page. Then there is on the web page again there is a section devoted to homeworks. Two homeworks with due dates as follows. You are allowed and even encouraged to work in groups. You should, but yeah, I think you're best informed in the groups yourself. There is no limit on the group size, no lower nor upper bounds. If you have troubles with forming the groups, again, contact me. I'll assign you randomly or in some other way. I need to see only one homework per group. There is no need to write the homeworks individually. However, remember that the exam is your individual work. So if you kind of piggyback on your fellows while doing the homework in the group, you might not get enough knowledge to do the exam yourself. So these are the homeworks, and well, we can look at it. As I said, the first one is on the fleet assignment. It has again this mathematical problem, mathematical program formulation for the fleet assignment with some rules, some questions, tables, and so on and so forth. Some of the problems we will solve in class, and I have already posted solutions to them. The solutions to other problems, I will open them after the due date. There's also a reading assignment, irregular operations management in the textbook. You will have to do it, read it by yourself. It's not a terribly important subject, so I decided to skip teaching it. And then there is homework 2 on revenue management, or more specifically on seat reservation. Again, the due date is right there. One of the problems we will solve in class, and there is a video and some notes, and the rest of the solutions I will open after the due date. So that's about the homeworks. And now, last but certainly not least, the actual content of the course, the slides and the videos that you will have to go through. So in this video, I will go through this set of slides, admin matters, and I will post the video which I'm recording right now. There is one set of slides with mathematical preliminaries. There is no video on it. It's just basically some mathematics that you may want to brush up upon or learn for the first time. If this is the first time you see it, it helps you with getting to know the notation that we use during the course and so on. And there's kind of this homework 0, which you don't have to do, which consists of from just answering questions in the slides. If you want, I can check your homework. You're most welcome to send it to me and ask questions, but it's not influencing your grade. Okay, and then, so this is the link to the slides on the fleet assignment, and these are the links to the videos on the fleet assignment, and after you've gone through them, you may do homework 1. And then again, this is the link to the slides on revenue management, and these are the videos on revenue management, and after you've gone through them, you may do homework 2. And then there is some more material for which there are slides and videos, but this material is not on the homeworks and it will not be on the exam, but still something kind of good to know. Well, for the last one, there is no videos, just the slides. So a few notes. Most of these videos were recorded during the class in 2020 when it was taught remotely for the first time. And at that time, we all thought that this remote mode is a one-off event. So I didn't mean to record them as if they were going to be used in other years, but looks like we are using them, at least in 2021. Who knows what is waiting for us later. But anyway, in some of these lectures, you may hear the references to chat messages to certain specific times, like lecture starts, like lecture ends. Those are kind of the artifacts. I hope you can just skip over them. I didn't really want to re-record the videos. There are a few errors in the videos that I've been finding as I watch the videos myself, and I'm noticing these errors, in these brackets after the videos, like, well, so the formula is incorrect, and so on and so forth. Again, the formula is incorrect in the video. In the slides, I have corrected the formula. But anyway, there are not too many of them. Hopefully, if there are too many, then I will re-record the video. The web style, changes from time to time, and the content changes from time to time, but the content is essentially the same, and the website is not shown too often in the videos, so don't worry if you see something in unfamiliar style. The content should be recognizable. And last but not least, yes, there are lots and lots of slides, and I acknowledge that, taken from the MIT OpenCourseware lectures. Okay, so that's it for the content of the web page. That's more or less all you need to know. And without further ado, let me get into the lecture on administrative matters. So yes, we know which course we are in, and hopefully know what the website for the course and for the lecture. Yes, these sister courses at MIT, we looked at them. In this class, it's important to, yes, ask questions, especially outside the classroom, especially since we really don't have a classroom. So yes, a joke which I keep here since the times that I taught this course face to face. Yes, raise your hand if you never raise your hand, just to see how active you are. You have to be active, in particular with this flipped classroom. I am waiting for your questions, or if everything is clear, then I'm waiting for your homeworks, and you will get feedback from me. I will contact all the groups and tell them what should be done or maybe redone in the homeworks. Right, so the textbook, I have the 2009 edition. I've never seen 2010 edition. I don't know how good or bad it is. The textbook is not required. The lectures kind of self-containing, but there is no harm in looking at the textbook. If you have it, well, you may read it. There are a few things in the textbook which kind of show that it was not read or proofread with enough care. I mean, these are some pictures from the book, and they speak about sources of the aircraft, while probably mean resources of the airline. And it feels like a small mistake, but again, for a book, it should have probably been proofread better. So they speak about irregular management problem, and of course, it's irregular operations management problem. It's not that the airline has some irregular management. Well, if it does, then that's a bigger problem, which is outside our immediate interest. Again, in the book, there is some notation, font mismatch, really small things, but in some sense, unacceptable for a book. Like you have these bold or italic font for the same things in the figures versus the text. That's, again, such things shouldn't necessarily be in a book. But anyway, the book has enough information and it's pretty close to what I teach, and I will even mention the differences between what I teach and what's in the book, and also what's in the MIT course. Okay, so the book sections and in general topics in airline management, demand modeling, you want to know how many passengers want to fly your aircraft. You have to know how to schedule the resources, and we will be looking mostly in depth at fleet assignment, but also a bit at the crew management. Revenue management, you have to get profit from your operations. Hopefully you're getting some revenue. And then the last section of the book is this irregular operations management, which I actually don't teach. And I slightly shuffle The material, so we start from fleet assignment in the sense that, well, fleet is probably the most important resource of the airline. No offense to the crew, but fleet is something very specific to the airlines. Revenue management, again, is most important to get revenue. And then I teach demand modeling, time permitting sorting facility, and then some introduction. And again, I don't teach the irregular operation management or how to recover from irregular operations. That's assigned for your self-study. And last but not least, the grading. You get 2 grades. One for the exam, the full range of the grades, and we discussed that. You have to score 50 out of 100 on the written exam to pass the course, and then I will have to talk to you if you want to get 4 or 5. And you have to do the homeworks. And well, if you don't pass the homeworks, you don't pass this part. You get U on the homeworks. But I will try to make you pass the homework. I will kind of work with you until your homework is good enough to pass. Of course, if you really don't want to pass, then I cannot make you pass, but we'll put effort into that. So that's it for the introductory lecture, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the lectures.